know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
This would be an interesting video for you. Yesterday I got a message from a person, a lady, and she sent me hi. That's how, whatever. I didn't bother first, because people send me messages. Then she sent me a photograph where you can make out like it's taken like a flash this thing through the camera. The arm is pretty bright, but backside behind, it's me sitting and eating. Okay, so this female tried to take a photograph of me by not looking like, she didn't want to be spotted taking my photograph. And the reason why she did, she found it pretty funny, like, who's this weirdo with all these tattoos on his face? And this was taken, I think, maybe 9 years ago or something. Okay, and she said, I had taken your photograph when you were eating at Yoko's. Yoko's is a place in Gisses. It's a sizzler kind of joint. It's an Indian branch. Yoko Sizzlers, very famous. Delicious food, huh? You must eat there. Yoko's, pay me some royalty. I'm talking about you. Beautiful. I love their sizzlers. Amazing stuff. So, I had taken my photograph and she said, look at this weirdo. But the photograph didn't come pretty clear. But she had shared it on Facebook. So, apparently Facebook shared the memory. And she just sent it to me. So I made the photograph a little bright, and I said, see, now it's more clearer. She said, okay. So then I said, can I just ask you a few questions about you, because I don't know you? She said, yeah, go ahead. So I asked, how many years have you been in UAE? Now, this lady, without giving her private details, she was in UAE for more than 15 years. Okay, she was with her family. She had husband, children, whatever. Okay, pretty happy life. Nothing great, normal life. Her husband was working, she was working. So they were perfectly okay. However, one particular day, one fine day, she found out that husband's job was in trouble. Very soon it was her job in trouble. Then the recession came, and eventually she lost her job. And then obviously, COVID nonsense. So she went back to India with her husband and her children. She went back. So I asked her, after 15 years of being in UAE, how have you managed? And this is the part which I want to share with you. How, after 15 years in UAE, going back to India, what is the situation? Okay. So I asked her plenty of questions. We had a call. We spoke for 40 minutes. I busy took down notes. So I asked her. So now the thing is, she said, Loy, after I decided to go back, she's saying, I was worried what will happen, whether I'll get a job, whether I'll be able to survive, sustain. And, just giving you her situation right now, she has a job. She's doing okay. She's doing not great. She's doing perfect. In the sense, her husband have a job. They have put their children to school and whatever. And now things are going normal. So I asked her, what is the difference now? And what are some of the pieces of advice that she would give people in UAE? Now for her, in her case, because she is from Bombay, Mumbai as you call it, she managed to get a job easily. The reason she got a job easily is because my assessment of her was she was very smart, she was very dynamic, very leadership, she was good at talking, she knew how to sell and market herself. So, she's not one of those dumb ducks, so please, no. She was pretty bold, pretty fearless. She had good communication skills. She presented herself properly. She's one of those feisty females who is a fighter, And she's the kind of person, she'll get a job anywhere. She might not get a very high-end job, but she'll definitely get a job. So smart female. Her husband also must be the same. I didn't speak to the husband, but I'm pretty sure he has the same characteristics. So both of them, and people from Mumbai generally are very sharp. That's why they say Mumbai is, it's, you can survive in Mumbai, you can survive anywhere in the world. So good female, pretty smart. So she got a job. Now I asked her what was the difference. She told me that in Dubai, the reason why she went to Dubai was because, you always have that foreign exchange. Oh, I can earn, 10 times more. And the lifestyle. So she was like, that's the reason I got tempted to go to Dubai. The money and the lifestyle. So, but then I asked her, now when you look back after all these years, what do you think? What are the drawbacks, plus minus? So this is what she said. She said, see Loy, if I had to evaluate today, unless I get double the salary that I'm getting now, I will not go. That's number one. The second one is what I never factored in, and what almost 99% of the people don't factor in, is the cost of living, especially rent. Rent, 50% of your income goes into rent. And it depends where you're staying. Like I've told you, if you stay in Abu Dhabi, it's, I think, 3 to 4 times more expensive than staying in Sharjah. Dubai is second most expensive. Sharjah is the cheapest. Ajman is even cheaper. So it depends where you're staying. Then depends on your commute to work. What is the distance? Then also depends on the company you're joining. Are they ethical? Are they not ethical? Do they pay salaries on time? Do they play around? Like during the COVID crisis, she told, Roy, as it is, we were living hand to mouth. During the COVID crisis, we found out that companies had slashed people's salaries half. In some cases, 80%, which I know. And in some cases, they said, okay, you are forced to take a leave, unpaid leave, for 6 months. Emirates Airlines, 12 months, 1 year. Imagine, no salary, but you have to pay your expenses. How do you manage? And then she also said that there's another problem, that is, when they take your passport, in some companies, some don't, then you're their slave, and you're always with the fear, oh shit, what did I do? I think the biggest drawback of being in UAE, which we both agreed to, was when you don't have a job, your whole life is destroyed. Your entire existence in UAE is based on your job, that is your visa. You don't have a job, you can't sit, you can't relax, you have to get a job, or you are out, your wife is out, your children have to get out, saying you totally get fucked. In India, if you don't have a job, you can at least sit in your house and not to worry. Okay, you have family to take care of you, or you don't have to worry, oh, I lost my job, I lost everything. And then the other thing, the last thing what she said is, India is, her own country, and she knows the place. Now, see, her situation, when I evaluate, because she was born in India, for her it was easy to go back. But if she was not born in India, but she was born in some other country, and she had an Indian passport and she had to go back, then it's a problem. That's number one. The second thing is, she already has parents who have property, who have a house. So for her, she has a place to go back to. If you don't have a property, you don't have a place to go back to, it's a problem. Number three is her personality. She was a very leadership, very dynamic, very bold, good communication. Okay, she knows how to sell, market herself. So this kind of person can survive anywhere. And her job was not so, like her job is something where if she knows how to talk, she'll always get a job. I've always told people, if you know how to sell and market yourself, you'll always get a job. And then on top of that, her wife and, she and her husband, they both had saved money. They are not, spent beyond their means. Okay, people are stupid. What happens, most of them in UAE, they live beyond their means. They want to show off more than their neighbors. And last, if not the least, I think she had self-respect that if she was not going to earn big money, what's the point? So I asked her, do you have any advice for people who are there? She said, people have to focus on, in terms of their salaries, they have to make sure that they're earning at least 1.5 times or to double. Others, it's not worth it. And to my surprise, she told me that India is now paying good salaries. India is paying good salaries, and they offer good packages, provided you're competent enough. If you're not competent enough, then it's very hard. The drawback can be plenty of competition, plenty of people applying for the same jobs. In UAE, it's comparatively less. And the third one is, it depends on your job category. Some jobs pay a lot more in UAE than India. So overall, she didn't say that she would never go back to UAE. She did say that I'll only go back to UAE if I have, say, double the income that I'm getting here. And yes, I can save money. If accommodation is taken care of, I'll definitely go back in a heartbeat. So that was her major thing. And I asked her, did UAE experience, was it valid here in India? She said, yeah, it was valid for the job that she was doing because of the particular brand that she was working with. Okay. So overall, this was my interaction with her. She didn't take any loans, she didn't have cards, so everything was good. So what I want you to do is this was one story of a person. You can tell me whether you relate to it, whether you feel this has worked well for you, because I also do know people who have gone back. Like, I know a finance controller, good friend of mine. He was earning 15,000 dirhams plus son's education, daughter's education in the UK, plus car, plus home, plus everything. But now he's getting, I think, 80,000 rupees in India as he's retired. He's in his 60s. But it is walking distance from his house. So where is 80,000 rupees? Where is 15,000 dirhams plus house, 3-bedroom, plus vehicle, plus college education, plus. He'll never get. But he's pretty happy. He's saved enough money. He has, I think, 10 houses and all that stuff. It's too much. So yeah, and one last thing, just since we are at it. There are a couple of jobs. I think there is a family based from India. They are looking for people, hardworking people. They want Indians specifically. So if you know any Indians who want jobs, just forward your CV. Don't send me a WhatsApp message. Just what designation, what is your job profile, what is your salary, just forward it to them. They contributed a little bit to my channel, so I'm just giving a shout out. It's a family from India. They have a family business and they're giving jobs to family people. Family people. They don't want a beautiful girl. They don't want a young boy who's ambitious. Simple family people who are grounded. They want to help because they are a well-to-do family. So they have multiple businesses. They're not looking for anything out of the ordinary. But they don't want to advertise because, if they say we are only looking for Indians, they don't want people to say, oh, you're being racist and all that. They don't offer very big salaries, but they offer salaries on time. So if you know anybody like that, just forward the CV to them. Please don't send me messages and disturb me. Just send me email, this position, this salary, this is what I want. Please forward to whomsoever. I'll do the rest. So this was the story, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Love to hear from you. This is me signing off. Take care.